Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing really well. So welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So this house is another container house, but this one is a little bit more elaborate than my previous container house. I absolutely love the previous one that I done, but I do think that this house here is like one of my absolute favorites that I have done. Please let me know in the comments down below what you think about it, but I think it's like really cool. It looks kind of sleek and modern from like the outside, if you will, a little bit, but I freaking love it. It's so cool. If I could pick it up and put it somewhere, I would love to. I would also absolutely love to build my own container house in like real life, because I think it would be so cool. So yeah, here just putting down the kind of like basic structure. I started off with 3 containers that are obviously the same size, and I was kind of like putting them a bit higgledy-piggledy. I do end up extending a couple of the rooms a little bit more, but the whole container kind of theme and everything like that still goes throughout the whole house, which I absolutely love it. I think it looks super cool. So just, it has like 2 balcony areas. Actually, it has 3 balcony areas, which end up being pretty cool. So the roof, I was doing like, you know, actual roof, and I was just like, I don't like it. I hated it so much because it just doesn't look like nice. So I ended up just doing like half a wall trim, and then putting the middle of it, like making it grass, as if it's a bit like naturistic, if that's a thing. So I ended up doing that, and I think that looks so much better. Especially for like the end product. The screenshots at the end, I absolutely love a lot of them. So you can see here we have the container theme. I like having the walls, some of the walls look like obviously a container, and I also carry the container wall look throughout the inside of the house, which I think is a given, kind of like bringing the outside in, making it as if, you know, it is a container house, so you can see it is one. But I have also chose this kind of I don't know what kind of wallpaper it was called. I think it's from the Get Famous pack. I'm not too sure. I'm not very familiar with a lot of the products and what kind of like packs they come from, as well as I don't have all of the packs that are like available. So I deal with what I have, but I'm pretty confident that it's from the Get Famous one. But I feel like that wallpaper type thing goes extremely well with the whole kind of like metal container build feel. And then again, the end screenshots look so cool, and I'm so happy with how it turns out. So I put in a little bit, a couple of trees, putting in a path, because I decided to have the door, it probably not in a place where you would think the door would go. You kind of have to like walk around the house to go through the door. I hope that makes sense. I'm pretty sure it makes sense from like what you guys are seeing. And then you could see just then I extended the kitchen, and that was because I kind of wanted the house to be a little bit topsy-turvy in a way. So the downstairs has the kitchen, a bedroom, and the bathroom, and it has like this kind of open area with the stairs and stuff like that. So that's the kind of thing that I was going for. And then the second floor is purely living room with a door out onto a cute little balcony, and then there is another door that leads up a set of stairs which leads to the master bedroom. So it is kind of like a family container house, although it would probably be better with just like parents and 1 child or 2 roommates or something like that. So doing the living room, I think what I should do is maybe start to choose a carpet, and then from the carpet choose walls and stuff. But I always go for choosing a wallpaper and then choosing like furniture to fit the wallpaper. Like I said, I don't have all of the packs, so if I did have all the packs, then I'd have probably a lot more choice than what I've got. But the wallpapers and that, there is a lot of choice to choose from, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm so indecisive with my builds. Even when I know kind of like an idea that I want to go by, I change my mind so many times. So this build in total took me just over 5 hours, but those 5 hours were like split over a couple of days. So for me that seems like a long time just to get like one house done, and to cut 5 hours down into like 25 minutes, 20 minutes for a video, I think isn't too bad. But yeah, doing the master bedroom, I chose this kind of wallpaper but I didn't like it, so I do end up changing that, and I'm just going downstairs to the kitchen area and choosing a dining room table, stuff like that, putting in some little bits for that. I was also possibly thinking about taking some builds from the gallery and like looking at them in videos as well, seeing what like I like about them or whatnot. I don't know, maybe like the most downloaded builds or maybe like newer builds that are on there. If any of you play The Sims and if any of you like build your own houses, please let me know, because I would absolutely love to look at them. I like taking inspiration from things. I get a lot of inspiration sometimes from things on Pinterest. I don't build an awful lot on The Sims, but I definitely want to try and start like getting a bit more into the building. I think that's maybe why I'm so indecisive as well about things, because I don't use it a lot. I look through like every item and I'm like, does it fit? Does it fit? Does it fit? And yeah, so I'm just like super indecisive with that. But I like it because so far I like every single kind of like build that I have done, probably bar like one or two that I think I could have done a lot better. But yeah, I absolutely love this one. I hope you guys like it as well. The windows that I chose for this build, again, I'm pretty sure that they are from the Get Famous pack, pretty confident. And they are like just like these really big windows. They remind me sort of like retro, kind of like 70s 60s style vibe, and I absolutely love them. And for this house, like the container, I thought that they looked really, really cool, and I just think that they bring the house together a lot to have these giant big windows. I had to use Baby Yoda. He does make an appearance inside the downstairs bedroom, which I think is so cool. He is like super, super freaking cute. I know I had to use him. So this is just kind of like the entranceway to the house with the coats, the shoes, a couple of little kind of like diplomery type things to give your guests a bit of a, oh, this person's posh. And then because I pulled out that painting set, I knew that the downstairs bedroom, the person who lives in that room, lives in the house, but has that room, is kind of like a painter, artist, that kind of thing. So that's the theme that I go for that room. This wall was looking a bit bare, and I wanted to add some sort of like coffee thing, but the coffee machine is on the other counter because of that window. I think it still looks really cool. I was figuring out what to put on top. I didn't quite know, so I just settled for a plant and a couple of like, I call these things awards, but I don't know what they are actually called. I just call them awards, and I think that they look pretty cool. So a couple of those there as well. I thought about making those smaller, but again, don't think that it really suited it very well. I was going to put some stuff on top of the cabinets, but I chose not to, just because I feel like they're high enough as it is. I think the walls for this is the second highest, so obviously the higher up you go, your Sims realistically will not be able to reach them. So for the bedroom that I said is going to be the artist room, I chose two single beds to use there, which I think work really, really well. Kind of like squish them together, kind of like a small double. I did sim test this build. It will be on the gallery, like I say in a lot of my videos. If you guys would like to download any of my builds, just look for the hashtag Tiger Jelly, and you should be able to find them from there. So putting in an easel, obviously those paintings, a nice like mural on the floor as well. So yeah, two single beds. Your Sim can use the bed, but obviously they only sleep on like one side as it's two singles, which I don't think is a drama, as it's more or less like a single room anyway, just with a small double bed that we have made up. So I put in quite a few different posters and things like that, little paintings and stuff for the artist room. I kind of think that it's more or less like a teen room, kind of like a teen artist type thing. Maybe it could be a teen's room who is trying to get into university. That would be cool, as kind of like a a kind of like a story thing. This could be their bedroom. They want to be an artist and they're trying to get into university. Their parents could have also been to university and built this container house, which I think is super cute. So I ended up putting Baby Yoda down by the easel because I just think it is so cute. I wanted a bunch of pictures or paintings, whatever you would like to call them, but I settled for just like the one giant picture, and I think that suits the room really well. Just putting in some colourful stuff on to the little like bedstand. I really like these Christmas lights. I done a whole kind of like Christmas setup to take some screenshots of 2 of my Sims to put on Instagram. If any of you are interested in following me on there, it's tigerjelly_. All of that stuff is normally in the description anyway, if you guys are interested. Just put in some clutter on top of the wardrobe to make as well a little bit more lived in. I love me some clutter. I do wish that there was more. This is probably one of the builds as well where I actually remembered to use the debug menu, and I also remembered to use I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like the live objects where you can actually take things from around the world that you don't normally find. So I do use some of that as well in this, which I'm so happy that I remembered to actually use those, because I definitely think that it pulls the house together, especially the garden. The garden, I use a lot of debug and kind of like live objects items, so that's really cool. One of the items that I use here is the headphones for on top of the bed, which I just think is cool because, you know, teen wanting to go into university, listen to music, really artsy stuff like that. This room is actually one of my favorites out of this whole build. I think the building for this build is like my favorite thing, but this room I also think has a lot of kind of like detail in it, which I think is really cool. So the bathroom, it was quite big, so I chose to go with a shower and a bath, which is, you know, I guess that's cool. I guess it was a shower, bath, a toilet, a couple of counters. I think now I probably maybe should have done like 2 sinks, although it's not like an ensuite, so I don't think 2 sinks would have made much sense. But your Sims obviously can use the bath and the shower like that. I have tested it, so you guys should be absolutely fine. I never normally do things like this where like I put a wall across the bath to kind of like separate it off, but I think that actually looks really cool. So I've never done something like that before, so I was a bit hesitant to see if it would work, but I sim tested it and my Sim was able to use a bath, so I was super happy with that. That was still usable and everything like that. I love this giant mirror. I use the giant mirror a lot in a lot of my builds, and I just think that it looks really cool behind the sink because it shows the stuff that is on the other side and the other mirror. Oh, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it's a little bit crazy, a little bit I want to say psychological, but I don't think that is the right word. So yeah, going back upstairs, I knew I wanted something in the corner. I wanted some sort of plant, so I chose to just use that kind of potted plant and make it larger. And then I moved on to the upstairs, which is kind of like the master bedroom. I put in like a wardrobe and stuff like that. The wardrobe was a little bit kind of like too far over where both Sims wouldn't get in bed, but I soon moved that over and now both Sims will use the bed absolutely fine. This is the only place in the house where I have some sort of computer, so if you were going to use this house and stuff like that, then you can always lock the room to like the parents or whoever has this upstairs room so that nobody else decides to go in and use the computer, which is fine. I could have possibly put in a laptop or something on the kind of like kitchen table for the child or teen, or possibly even move the kind of like a corner sofa thing, like window, I think it's like a window seat, move that out of the teen child room, whatever, and put in kind of like a little desk there with a laptop. I think that would also look pretty cool if that's something that you guys would prefer if you download this and you change anything. So I love this kind of like Instagram like beauty guru mirror type thing with the lights. It's not a mirror, it's just the lights, but it definitely reminds me of like the beauty gurus and stuff like that, and I really like that for above the bed. So that's kind of like the main light source for this room, although I do put another smaller light above the kind of like table area where the computer is and stuff like that, as well as this room has its own balcony and its own kind of like massive sliding doors, which the sliding doors are from Island Living Pack, I do believe. Just putting down a bunch of knick-knack stuff on the desk in the main bedroom and stuff like that, picking up on some things that I might have missed before. So a few little plants and tablets and books and stuff like that. I end up moving the clock above the computer just because I think it makes a lot more sense there, as well as it doesn't clutter up the lights that are above the bed, which I really like. So just putting out some stuff on to the patio for the bedroom. There was the plant was poking through the ceiling, so I kind of cheekily covered that up with a chair. I think it looks really cool. It's very simple, kind of I keep going to say modern. I think that's the only thing. I'm not on trend, like I don't really, so I don't know if it is, but to me it kind of streams just like cleaner and crisper, especially for the build itself. I think it looks really nice. So the garden, I don't really mess around with the terrain tool like at all. It kind of scares me because I just think that I'm gonna screw it up, but I wanted to mess with it a little bit for this build. So I kind of had the corner of the garden like at the front side of the house, if that makes sense, be a little bit higher, and I think that looks cool. So this build in total, I started building it on a plot, I think that come with cats and dogs or something, but I end up actually moving it to the world that comes with cats and dogs. So it now ends up being kind of like a Bayside house, which is what I am calling the build because I think it looks super cool. So it's a Bayside container home, and I absolutely love it. It's the lot that it's kind of weird because the lot doesn't have like a path or a road or anything that's like on it, but when you go into the kind of gallery and you go to post your build on there, the side that is obviously facing the front is the side that we have put the way of the path going. So that is like the front of the house. So it's a bit weird that the main door is kind of like around the corner of that, but honestly I freaking love that idea so much. So yeah, the terrain tool, I used it a little bit. I did make the fence go a little bit kind of like wonky, but I do end up sorting that out. So if any of you download this house, that should all be completely sorted and absolutely fine. I hope you guys are enjoying this build so far. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and let me know what you think about it. There are some screenshots coming up at the end. The garden, I really didn't know what to do with it. I wanted something that would kind of go with the theme of the house in a sense, so I decided I wanted a pool. So I put in a pool area, put in some like chairs and stuff for people to sit in and chill. So that's kind of like directly outside the back door, which I think is kind of cool. And then for the rest of the garden, I just put in a path that kind of matches the one that leads to the front of the house. So I just put in that, and then I put in a couple of benches and a bunch of trees, and like I said, the garden is definitely the area where I use the live objects a lot more than anywhere else in the house. So I was struggling trying to put in this path. I was really struggling. So I done some weird shape, and then I just kind of went from there as to, because sometimes I love doing the landscaping, not like the terrain landscaping, but just like putting in trees and stuff like that. But it's also something that I struggle with, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this large open garden, especially for a house that kind of looks, as I keep going to say modern, please excuse me if it's kind of like the wrong term, but especially a house that is kind of like crisp and modern, if you will, as this one, because it's kind of like a container house, and I feel like it looks really, really cool. Like it's not a messy house. It's kind of like crisp, like the parents built the house and now the child wants to go to university and do art, kind of like really kind of not uptight, if you get what I mean. I hope that some of this is making sense to like some of you, even just making sense to one of you. It's like, it's fine. So yeah, just put in, I like those stone benches. I couldn't find a bench that I thought fit very well, so the stone benches were like my best kind of go-to for the two areas that I decided to put in benches. And then the terrain tool, I tried to use it again for the side of the house, and then this is where I kind of make the fence go a little bit wobbly, but like I say, I do sort that out, and then I put in a bunch of stones to try and, I guess, clutter it up, but make it as if it's kind of, it's a beach house, kind of, I don't know, I don't really want to say nature, because it's not really like a nature house. It's kind of like a container house that's on the beach. I think that's why I decided to use so many stones. I think it's actually the bay, like it's Bayside, but I call it beach because it looks like there's sand there. So that's why I have used so many stones and everything like that, and trying to put in some shading and stuff around the smaller areas. So there are some screenshots and stuff coming up pretty soon, so I hope you guys liked this speed build. I would love to know what you think of this build. I would also love to know what build of mine you like the best so far. I think so far this one is probably hands down my absolute favorite. I would love to build this house, like this house specifically, like for me. Just like get myself a bit of land, build this house. That would absolutely be a dream of mine. It's so cool, and I've always really wanted a container house because I think that they are so freaking awesome. So yeah, screenshots coming up soon. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, search the hashtag tigerjelly if you would like to find this build. Feel free to follow me over on the gallery and everything like that. So just thank you all so much. You guys are amazing. Hit the like button, leave comments down below. Do not forget to subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.